Turkey's secret drone army that shocked NATO military experts. What if I told you that a country most people overlook in military discussions just built the world's most feared drone army? Just 2 hours flight from London, Turkey has quietly assembled a fleet so powerful that it's making NATO generals lose sleep at night. For decades, military experts said that smaller nations could never challenge the big players in modern warfare. But now, Turkish drones are rewriting the rules of combat across 3 continents. This isn't just about flying robots. It's about how one nation cracked the code to building cutting-edge military technology at a fraction of the cost, and why every major power is scrambling to understand their secret. Today, let's dive into Turkey's $15 billion drone revolution that's reshaping modern warfare forever. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe. It's the best way to support this channel and stay updated on the most incredible military innovations happening around the world. Here's the thing most people don't realize. Turkey's drone dominance didn't happen overnight. It's actually one of the most remarkable comeback stories in modern military history. Back in the 1990s, Turkey had a serious problem. Kurdish separatist groups were launching attacks from remote mountain regions, and the Turkish military was struggling to respond effectively. Traditional fighter jets were too expensive to deploy constantly, and ground operations in rugged terrain were costly and dangerous. Turkey needed eyes in the sky, but here's the catch. No one would sell them the technology they needed. The United States refused to export armed drones to Turkey. Israel had similar restrictions. European nations weren't interested in sharing their advanced UAV technology. Turkey was essentially locked out of the drone club by the very allies they were supposed to work with in NATO. That changed in 2004 when a visionary Turkish engineer named Selçuk Bayraktar started a small company called Bayraktar with his brother. Most people laughed at the idea. How could a tiny startup compete with American giants like General Atomics or Israeli defense contractors? But here's where it gets interesting. Instead of trying to copy existing designs, the Bayraktar brothers took a completely different approach. They decided to build drones that were simpler, cheaper, and more practical than anything on the market. Their first breakthrough came in 2014 with the Bayraktar TB2, a drone that would eventually change everything. The real turning point came in 2016 during Turkey's operations in Syria. While the world was focused on American Predator drones costing $17 million each, Turkey deployed swarms of TB2 drones at just $5 million per unit. The results were shocking. These supposedly inferior drones were achieving better results than their expensive American counterparts. Now let's talk about what makes Turkey's drone army so special, because the numbers will blow your mind. The backbone of Turkey's fleet is the Bayraktar TB2, but calling it just a drone is like calling the iPhone just a phone. This aircraft has a wingspan of 12 meters, can stay airborne for 27 hours straight, and operates at altitudes up to 25,000 feet. But here's the kicker. It costs 70% less than comparable American or Israeli drones. The TB2 isn't just cheap, it's incredibly smart. It uses advanced artificial intelligence to identify and track targets autonomously. The drone can operate in GPS-denied environments, navigate using visual recognition, and coordinate with other drones in the same airspace. Think of it as having a pilot with perfect vision who never gets tired, never makes emotional decisions, and can process information faster than any human. But Turkey didn't stop there. They've developed an entire ecosystem of unmanned vehicles. The Akinci is their heavy-duty option, bigger, more powerful, and capable of carrying air-to-air missiles. This beast has a 20-meter wingspan and can carry up to 1,350 kilograms of payload. It's essentially a fighter jet without a pilot. Then there's the Kızılelma, which sounds like something from a science fiction movie. This is Turkey's first combat drone that looks and flies like a traditional fighter aircraft. It can reach speeds of 900 kilometers per hour and perform maneuvers that would be impossible for human pilots due to G-force limitations. What really sets Turkish drones apart is their modular design philosophy. Unlike American drones that require extensive ground infrastructure and specialized maintenance teams, Turkish drones can be operated from simple runways and maintained by relatively small crews. A single TB2 can be packed into containers and shipped anywhere in the world, then assembled and operational within days. The integration is where Turkish engineers really showed their genius. These drones don't operate independently. They're part of a network. They share information in real time, coordinate attacks, and can even take over each other's missions if one unit is damaged. It's like having a hive mind controlling your entire air force. Let's talk money, because this is where Turkey's strategy gets really interesting. The Turkish government has invested approximately $15 billion in unmanned systems development over the past decade. But here's what makes this remarkable. That's less than what the United States spends on drone development in a single year. Turkey achieved a technological revolution on what bigger powers would consider pocket change. The funding comes from three main sources. The Turkish government provides about 60% through direct military procurement and R&D grants. Private investment accounts for 25%. Mostly from Turkish holding companies who saw the export potential early. The remaining 15% comes from international partnerships and pre-orders from countries wanting to buy Turkish drones. But here's the brilliant part. Turkey designed their drone program to be self-funding from day one. Every drone sold to international customers generates revenue that goes directly back into R&D for the next generation. Countries like Ukraine, Qatar, and Azerbaijan have essentially become investors in Turkey's technological advancement. To put this in perspective, a single American MQ-9 Reaper drone costs $17 million. Turkey produces 3 TB2 drones for the same price, and many military analysts argue the TB2 is more effective in most combat scenarios. That's not just cost efficiency, that's a complete reimagining of how military technology should work. The economic multiplier effect has been enormous. Turkey's drone success has attracted $8 billion in additional aerospace investments, created over 50,000 high-tech jobs, and established Turkey as a major arms exporter for the first time in its modern history. Right now, Turkey's drone production is operating at levels that most countries can only dream of achieving. Baykar's main production facility in Istanbul can manufacture 200 TB2 drones per year, and they're expanding to double that capacity by 2025. Turkish aerospace industries is simultaneously ramping up production of their Anka series drones, with new assembly lines coming online every 6 months. The progress has been absolutely staggering. In 2020, Turkey produced 120 military drones. By 2023, that number jumped to over 400 units annually. They're not just building more drones, they're building better ones. Each new batch incorporates lessons learned from real combat operations, making Turkish drones the only military aircraft in the world that evolve based on actual battlefield experience. What's really impressive is how quickly Turkey scaled up their supply chain. 5 years ago, they imported 80% of drone components. Today, they manufacture 75% domestically, with plans to reach 90% local production by 2026. This isn't just about national pride. It's about independence. Turkey never wants to be in a position where other countries can cut off their access to critical military technology. The testing process is unlike anything in the defense industry. While American drones undergo years of controlled testing, Turkish drones are tested in real combat conditions. TB2 drones have flown over 400,000 combat hours in Syria, Libya, Iraq, and other conflict zones. This real-world validation gives Turkish drones a credibility that no amount of laboratory testing can match. Quality control is managed through a unique partnership between military engineers and private sector efficiency experts. Every drone is tracked from assembly through its entire operational life, creating a database that helps predict maintenance needs and identify potential improvements. Now let's be honest about the challenges Turkey faces, because no military program is without controversy. The biggest technical obstacle is electronics. While Turkey has mastered drone airframes and basic systems, they still rely on foreign suppliers for advanced sensors, processors, and communication equipment. This creates potential vulnerabilities. If suppliers decide to cut off access, Turkey's drone program could face serious limitations. There are also legitimate concerns about proliferation. Turkey's willingness to sell drones to almost anyone with cash has worried NATO allies. Turkish drones have ended up in conflicts across Africa and the Middle East, sometimes supporting groups that Western nations oppose. This has created diplomatic tensions that could affect Turkey's long-term relationships with key allies. Environmental groups have raised questions about the ecological impact of increased drone testing and operations. Unlike manned aircraft, drones can operate continuously, potentially disrupting wildlife migration patterns and creating noise pollution in previously quiet regions. Financial transparency is another issue. While Turkey publishes overall defense spending numbers, the specific costs of drone development programs are often classified. This makes it difficult for taxpayers and parliamentary oversight committees to evaluate whether the investments are justified. Perhaps most concerning for Turkey's competitors is the brain drain effect. Turkish success in drones is attracting top engineering talent from other countries, potentially weakening their own defense capabilities. Several NATO nations have quietly expressed concern about losing aerospace engineers to Turkish companies offering better career opportunities. There's also the question of battlefield ethics. Turkish drones have been involved in conflicts where civilian casualties occurred, raising questions about the accountability of unmanned warfare. While Turkey maintains that their drones are more precise than traditional weapons, critics argue that the ease of drone deployment might make military action more likely. Despite the challenges, the positive impact of Turkey's drone revolution has been transformative on multiple levels. Economically, this program has completely changed Turkey's position in global defense markets. From being a technology importer, Turkey has become the world's second largest drone exporter after the United States. This generates over $3 billion annually in export revenue and has created a high-tech manufacturing sector that employs thousands of engineers and skilled workers. The military benefits are obvious but worth emphasizing. Turkey can now project power far beyond its borders at a fraction of traditional costs. A single drone operator in Ankara can conduct surveillance or precision strikes anywhere Turkish interests are threatened. This has fundamentally changed Turkey's strategic position in regions like Syria, Libya, and the Eastern Mediterranean. But perhaps the most significant impact is technological. Turkey's drone success has inspired a new generation of engineers and entrepreneurs. Universities report massive increases in enrollment for aerospace and robotics programs. Startup companies focusing on artificial intelligence, advanced materials, and autonomous systems have multiplied across the country. The program has also strengthened Turkey's diplomatic position. Countries that previously ignored Turkish interests now actively seek partnerships and technology transfer agreements. Ukraine's success using Turkish drones against Russian forces has made Turkey one of the most sought-after defense partners in Eastern Europe. Socially, the drone program has become a source of national pride and technological confidence. Young Turks now believe their country can compete with anyone in high-tech industries. This psychological transformation may be the program's most lasting benefit. From a global perspective, Turkey has proven that smaller nations can achieve technological breakthroughs if they focus on practical solutions rather than trying to match larger powers in every area. This model is being studied and copied by countries around the world. Looking ahead, Turkey's drone ambitions are just getting started. By 2026, Turkey plans to have the world's first operational drone aircraft carrier, essentially a floating platform capable of launching and recovering unmanned aircraft anywhere in the world. They're also developing space-based drone systems and underwater autonomous vehicles that will extend their technological advantage into new domains. The MIUS program aims to create fully autonomous combat drones that can make targeting decisions without human intervention. While controversial, this represents the future of warfare, and Turkey intends to lead that future rather than follow it. Perhaps most importantly, Turkey is building an entire ecosystem of partner nations. Countries buying Turkish drones also receive training, maintenance support, and technology transfer agreements. This creates a network of nations dependent on Turkish technology, giving Turkey influence far beyond its traditional sphere. The ultimate goal is clear. Turkey wants to become the dominant military technology supplier for developing nations, offering high-quality systems at prices that make American and European alternatives look ridiculously expensive. What makes this story so compelling is how it challenges everything we thought we knew about military innovation. For decades, we assumed claimed that only superpowers could develop cutting-edge weapons systems. Turkey proved that smart engineering, focused strategy, and real-world testing can beat unlimited budgets and bureaucratic defense contractors. This transformation didn't happen by accident. It's the result of strategic thinking, technical innovation, and the courage to challenge established players in a market they thought they controlled forever. What are your thoughts on Turkey's remarkable drone revolution? Do you think other countries can replicate their success? Or is this a unique combination of circumstances that can't be repeated? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll explore another incredible military innovation that's changing the world as we know it.